That night, Toothless, lying on his back with his limbs sprayed out, suddenly woke up. He seemed to have caught a familiar scent, the Light Fury. He rushed out of his tent, looking around, and finally spotted her, slowly becoming visible in the distance. The Light Fury led Toothless to the riverbank. Standing at the top of the hill, Toothless tried to act proud and lifted his head high. However, when he took his first step, he accidentally missed his footing and tumbled down the slope, rolling all the way to the riverbank where the Light Fury was. Toothless swallowed nervously. She started performing a courtship dance, then lay down on the ground, waiting for Toothless to join her. But Toothless, raised by Hiccup, had never learned this kind of behavior, then tried to flap his wings in an attempt to mimic the dance. The Light Fury, however, was unmoved. Toothless, in his own quirky way, began to dance in a strange, awkward manner. The beautiful dance was so baffling that the Light Fury couldn't take it anymore. She couldn't help herself and swatted Toothless a few times before flying off. Upset, Toothless chased her up into the trees. Something seemed to trigger in him, and he decided to shake the branch violently. The sudden movement startled the Light Fury, and she cried out in fear. Fortunately for Toothless, the branch wasn't strong enough, and he fell to the ground. Lying there, Toothless noticed the broken branch nearby and suddenly remembered that he could draw. Inspired, he began sketching in the sand. With his little jumps and bounces, Toothless created a picture of the Light Fury. When she saw the drawing, the Light Fury was visibly moved, impressed by Toothless' talent, but just as she stepped onto the lines of the drawing, the Light Fury, touched by Toothless' artwork, gestured for him to follow her and fly away together. However, Toothless, unable to fly on his own because of his injured tail, hesitated. As he looked at the shore, the Light Fury saw Hiccup standing there, which startled her once again, and she flew off. Toothless, watching the Light Fury fly away, glanced down at his injured tail and shook his head in frustration. Hiccup, witnessing everything, suddenly remembered that he had once made a tail for Toothless so he could fly independently. Inspired, he got to work and improved the design, crafting a new fireproof tail for Toothless.
Fire when ready.
Oh! Well, I guess you know the tail is fireproof.
When Toothless saw the new tail, he was thrilled and immediately embraced Hiccup before flying off into the sky. But as Hiccup watched Toothless soar away, he lowered his head in quiet sorrow. Toothless, now equipped with his new tail, soared through the sky, searching for the Light Fury. Sure enough, she was still nearby. When Toothless spotted her, he proudly displayed his new tail. The black and white dragons soared together into the dark clouds. The Light Fury demonstrated the Fire Blast Cloak's skill to Toothless. Suddenly, Toothless remembered that he could do this too, although he had never used it alone because he had always been with Hiccup. Toothless breathed out a burst of fire and quickly rushed into the cloud, but he didn't vanish. Perhaps it had been too long since he used the skill, and he had become a bit rusty. Frustrated, Toothless didn't want to embarrass himself in front of the Light Fury, so he took a deep breath, and this time his Dragonfire summoned the lightning strike from the clouds. After successfully executing the move, Toothless felt drained from the effort. Thankfully, the Light Fury swooped in and caught him, supporting him as they continued to fly through the sky. Under the moonlight, the two dragons formed a heart shape in the air. Toothless gently licked the Light Fury's forehead, and she accepted it with a graceful nod. The Light Fury then led Toothless to a place called the Hidden Realm, a secret sanctuary for dragons. Meanwhile, Hiccup had discovered Drago's location near a new island. He and his team prepared to ambush him. But just like last time when Drago had ambushed Burke, this time Drago was ready for them. When Hiccup and his team infiltrated Drago's castle, they accidentally triggered a trap. Chains fell from the ceiling, trapping them inside. The battle began. Without Toothless by his side, Hiccup's abilities were far less effective. His fighting skills plummeted, and Burke's crew was forced to retreat. Hiccup realized how vital Toothless was to their success. He decided to find his dragon. Hiccup and Astrid, riding Stormfly, eventually found the Hidden Realm. The breathtaking beauty of the place, the birthplace of dragons, captivated Hiccup. As they flew deeper into the center of the Hidden Realm, they saw Toothless. But it was clear that Toothless had now become the leader of the dragon herd. He stood proudly with the Light Fury, overlooking the dragons below. It was evident that Toothless was enjoying his life among the dragons, away from humans. Seeing this, Hiccup felt a deep pang in his heart. He knew that perhaps Toothless was meant to leave him and live his life with the dragons. Suddenly, a dragon appeared from behind, ready to attack Hiccup. Toothless, seeing this, rushed to his aid and saved him. On their way back, Hiccup noticed Toothless seemed lost in thought, his eyes filled with sadness. Hiccup made a decision. When they landed, they discovered the Light Fury hiding in the bushes. Toothless excitedly ran toward her.
We might not have to say goodbye after.
But just as the Light Fury sensed an uneasy presence, She prepared to fly away. Before she could escape, a tranquilizer dart struck her. In an instant, the Light Fury fell, rolling to the ground.